Yeah. What's up? Welcome to another episode of I'm Will Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. And I'm back with another guest once again. This time, it's a good friend of mine. His name is the OG, Martin Baez. He's one of the newer additions to my group, my clique, my circle of friends. He's been a part of our close-knit friendship for, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years now. Whereas the rest of us have known each other for, over a decade now. I've known some friends for 2 decades now, going all the way back to high school. Oh, man, makes me feel old a little bit. Either way, we kind of talk a little bit about what it's like being, friends with us and joining the group, and how it was for him how he finally didn't, it took him being allowed into our fantasy football league to really feel like he was in. And then how he took that opportunity to stab me in the back. And we get into all that as well. It's for you people that aren't into fantasy football, don't worry. It's not we don't talk about, quarterbacks and running backs and who had a great season and none of that. No. This is more about a short little examination of how fantasy football in general can actually affect friendships in a way, and how we dealt with it and handled it in a pretty, I think, funny and positive way. All's fair in love and football, apparently, and we get into it a little bit in part 1 of this conversation. We will come back with him next week to wrap it up, but for now, just enjoy a conversation between 2 good friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Baez. Here.
Powered by Heineken.
Have you done... Oh, did I already... No, I didn't.
No.
Have you done the Heineken Zeros before?
Yeah, with you, actually, the first time. We went to Hog, you came over, and we got kind of fucked up. And, I don't know if you did it...
At Hog you were drinking Heineken Zero?
No, when we came back to my crib.
You did it... You drank Heineken Zero at home?
Yeah, with you. You actually bought it. Yeah.
Cheers.
Salud, man.
Wait, where? All right, remind me again. Is this the night that we ran into my first bartender ever?
No. This was like a few hogs before that. I think it was myself, you, Keith. I think we ordered Domino's.
Okay, I remember that.
Ran across the street to the deli to get some beers, but I don't know if you did it by accident, but it kind of helped us out a little bit because it was like, all right, we're not gonna keep getting more fucked up.
But I didn't buy it for me, right?
I feel like we all drank them.
No.
Yeah, we did. I swear to God, that was the first time I ever knew there was a Heineken Zero.
That had to have been an accident then. I would not.
And I think I even asked you, and you.
No.
I swear to God.
I don't. What'd you do? You asked me like, "Yo, do you know that's Heineken Zero?"
Yeah, something like that. I was like, "Yo, there's like these Heinekens are like non-alcoholic." She goes, "Oh yeah, I wanted to have something lighter or something."
Bullshit. No, are you sure it's not the Heineken? What do they call it? I think the first time we had it,
Silver.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, I don't think it was.
Nah, it was sweat.
And it wasn't Heineken Light. You pretty sure I didn't buy a Heineken Light?
No,
I like Heineken Light.
There was Zero for sure. I never knew these existed, and now I know they're across the street. They're at the deli across the street from me.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm disappointed in myself. I don't. That doesn't sound.
Oh, you actually put me on to something, so don't be too disappointed.
No, I'm very. That's so. That's like not what I want to put people on. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't care about being dry and all that shit. Good for you. Good for anyone out there that's doing the dry January. But yeah, I'm not.
For sure. It's not easy.
All right, so we got so fucked up at Hog, by the way, House of Glory.
Yes.
We got so fucked up at the show that I wanted something so light that I decided to buy non-alcoholic
I don't
beer.
think you realized that it was not like
to this day. I didn't realize
and
that at all.
Like, we went to the deli. You got the non-alcoholic. I think I got a regular 6-pack or whatever. And then I look at him like, the fuck is this Zero shit?
Yeah.
And then I looked at the bottle. I'm like, alcohol free? Oh, maybe it is good because we're not gonna keep getting more fucked up.
That sounds so stupid.
That's when I learned.
Would never.
Yeah.
By the way, we were probably like still getting more. There was no alcohol. Was that the one that I spilled the alcohol I think Dave had a flask of.
No, that was after
was
Ganja
after
White Night.
Ganja White
It was
Night.
after Ganja White Night. Yeah.
There was no 0% alcohol that night.
You know how many times I spilled like beers and shit on my own couch? It's like it's fine. Like when I get so drunk myself, I just spill it. Like,
do you ever wash it? Like,
I've tried.
Yeah.
So like for one of my birthdays a few years ago, my friend got me sours, and I don't like sours at all.
So you spilled it on the couch on purpose?
Not on purpose. I was drinking them, and it did fuck me up, right? And I fell asleep. So like half the can spilled on my leg and the couch. So I tried to wash it to salvage what I think I could like salvage, and I fucked it up even more.
The couch?
Yeah. So I don't know if you ever see it. There's like a big stain. So I tried to put like a blanket over it.
Oh.
Yeah, the main one.
I don't even think I could. Your couches are like white or
They're
gray?
like dark brown,
Yeah,
gray brown, beige.
That's a good color to get dirty.
Yeah. Because unless you really look at it, you'll see it.
Who was with us for this hog event where allegedly I bought non-alcoholic beer?
It was Keith.
Keith, do you remember me buying Heineken Zeros? He's gonna be like, that doesn't sound like Will either. All right,
but definitely wasn't me because I didn't know that they exist. But like, but that's when like I learned what they were.
Was Cole there?
Nah, Cole didn't start going hog until like the last two, I think.
Who came to that? Was Teddy there?
Teddy, I think, was there.
Teddy, do you remember this? I bought Heineken Zero. There's no, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you're lying.
Nah, I can't, man. I wouldn't lie. It's too specific.
You sure you weren't with like someone else and they bought the Heineken Zero?
I swear to God, you were there. you carried the thing in, 100%. I'm like, damn, these are not bad because they actually taste like Heineken, which is good. You got to trick yourself sometimes.
I only had one out of the can, and I tasted it at the one place I ever worked at. The only place I ever worked that had them was Horny Ram. They had them in the can, and I don't know. It wasn't too big of a fan.
Something off about it?
But yeah, to me, maybe the bottle's better. I mean, in general, I canned Corona in a can, Heineken in a can. It doesn't hit me the same as Corona in a bottle and Heineken in a bottle.
I feel like just bottles in general are better. Like soda in a bottle, like it's good.
Yeah.
Like Coke in a bottle, like shit like that. Like,
don't they call that like a Mexican Coke?
It's a Mexican Coke. Yeah.
I've never understood. One time I ordered like a Mexican Coke, thinking like, ooh, it's gonna, I don't know, like have a little bit of a different flavor. And when they gave me the bottle, I remember thinking like, oh, I guess they ran out of the Mexican Coke. And whoever I was with was like, no, that is the Mexican Coke.
It's the bottle.
I'm like, what the?
I mean, I guess like hearing it from other people that it tastes better, in my mind I'm like, oh, maybe it is better, like it tastes better
out of bottle I always prefer, like, if I was ordering beer at a bar, unless the tap was like more interesting choices. Like last night I went to Bones Room and they have I've gone there a couple of times just for the specific stout. They have like a chocolate stout with like a what was it, like a cayenne finish, like, so it's a little spicy. Yeah,
that sounds interesting.
But if I'm choosing between like Coors, Heineken, whatever, I usually go for the bottled option versus to me that's the draft. I'm never sure about, like, it could be a shitty draft, could be a warm keg, could be the bottom of the keg. Bottle I feel like is always.
Well, mostly if you go draft, you're gonna get like their beer that they have, like their specialty type of beer, right? Instead of
well, unless you're somewhere that's draft is, like my draft at work is Stella, Blue Moon. It's not like we don't do any specialty or like local brews there.
I totally forgot about Stella for a second. I drink Stella all the time, and it's like out of draft is good too. Bottle, like even the cans are good. Stella just like a good everyday random beer. You can't go wrong with a Stella.
Stella's the most common, like, asked for. Like, I remember when I worked at the Diddy and everyone was confused. Whoever was confused about the beers we had on tap, they'd be like, "Oh, which one's like a Stella?" That's always what it is. Which one's like Stella? It's
like the breaking, like, if you want to like compare what beer tastes like, what, like, they bring out the Stella.
I also think a lot of people are ashamed to be like, I love the people that are like, I'm a Bud Light guy. Like, not that I like love them in a sense like, well, that's an educated palate or anything. I love that usually whoever the type of person that says that, it has come to terms with how little frills they are, and they don't care that other people may say like, oh, that's water, or that's shitty beer, or that's so basic. Like they don't.
They like what they like.
Yeah, it's like I don't, and it usually means that you're not gonna be a tough time. Like, Shane Gillis is actually he just literally that's all he drinks is Bud Lights, and he's like that at the bar too. He'd be like, "I need you Bud Light, please."
Those are like easy dates right there.
Yeah,
like,
and he is one of the easiest comics there to like to wait
that's
on.
That's good though. At least they admit it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to admit. Oh, I like a Bud Light. I don't really like Bud Light personally, but I've heard people that do, and hey, whatever they like.
See, to me, like I don't dislike Bud Lights and Coors Lights. Like I will drink them. And I've never had one and been like, oh, this is crap. You know, like I have tasted IPAs that I do not like. I've tasted some sour, even though I'm a huge sour fan, I've tasted sours that I do not like. I don't drink the Bud Light and go, oh, like it doesn't hit my palate wrong. It's just I get when people say it's maybe watery or whatever or. However, you're also talking to someone that drinks a lot of hard seltzers too. Like that's the epitome of a watery drink, I think.
So when it comes to light beer, for me, like that's kind of like the halftime, take a break in between drinks type of beer, type of drink. Because I usually I'll do a Jameson ginger ale or a shot and like take a break or drink a Stella. In the meantime, and I don't want to get too fucked up.
You do the twisted teas, though.
Yeah, twisted teas are pretty good.
I don't know.
You don't like them?
Not really.
Ah, damn, what, it's too sweet for you?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've just never really been like. They remind me of like the Mike's Hard Lemonades and
yeah, it's in the same realm, I would say.
I thought when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm like before I was of drinking age, I was like, oh, when I'm like 21, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna buy 6 packs of Mike's Hard Lemonade, and
that's everybody, bro.
And then I saw that like only like women do that or whatever.
It was like 4%, some shit like that.
The commercials tried so hard to make it look like dudes like fuck with Mike's Hard or whatever.
It looked like a cool commercial. Like, I want to drink Mike's Hard Lemonade now. Like this like electric bottle. Like the bottle's so like enticing. Like they don't taste good. Not saying like twisted teas like taste the best, but that's like something I could just drink all day.
So that's why I don't know. You like those better than regular beers?
I would say I like those better than Bud Light for sure.
Well, because to me, you always bring twisted tea.
Yeah, because everybody bringing beer, so I like to give another option.
Yeah, but then you drink them all.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not.
Someone got to take a can before I do.
That's like coming for dinner and bringing your own food.
That's a good point.
That's what you do basically.
So it's like
I thought you were buying them for yourself because that's how much you dislike all the other beer.
No, I like beer in general, but I usually bring like a 12 pack, maybe more, depending how long we're gonna hang out. And it's not just for me. Not like I'm holding it like a football. Like these are my drinks. No, like take whatever you want. No one touches them. So it's like,
and you still bring it party after party after party.
I'll bring something different.
No, by all means, bring your. It's like the 2 drinks that lasted the longest in my fridge was a twisted tea and a non-alcoholic IPA.
I think I found a twisted tea, one of the ones that I brought, like 3 months later. The next time I came to hang out or some shit like that, yeah. I was looking for something. I'm like, this is my peach twisted tea.
I believe that.
Didn't even drink that shit.
Nah,
like,
not even like in a desperation. Like
Jesus.
Honestly, I probably looked at it and it didn't even register in my head as beer.
This like Arizona or some shit.
Yeah, if I was really desperate, I might have. Because there was a couple of times that I was like, maybe I'll fucking drink that non-alcoholic IPA. But I was like, nah, I know it's not what I'm. Yeah. It's not the fix I need.
It's not what you're looking for. No, I get it. It's kind of like that middle ground. Let's not get too fucked up too quick type of thing. You could sit with it. You could have a conversation, holding your hand type of thing. If you're gonna go straight like pedal to the metal type of shit, like all right, something a little bit like liquor, like a mixed drink, you know?
Yeah, but that's also the difference between me and you is that you will do the Jameson ginger ale night often.
Oh, like all day,
right?
All night.
I rarely have like I don't ever order tequila seltzers or.
I've never seen you order like a mixed drink. You'd get like White Claws and beer.
I'll get beers and then I'll take shots.
And
yeah, I will.
I agree with you there.
That's what. But I don't ever ask for a tequila soda or tequila Coke or whatever shit like that. I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's weird. I was gonna say I think it's because what you alluded to, like not wanting to get fucked up too fast, but then taking a shot all the time, like just counteracts that completely.
There's something about doing a shot with the people that you really fuck with, people you care about, people you love. It's like, everybody's here, all the homies are here, let's do a shot. To me, that's exciting. More so than actually the shot, if that makes any sense.
I got.
Like the action of doing the shot. Like, we're going to celebrate something. We're going to, be proud together. Let's do a shot. tasting the shot is like, oh fuck, like this wasn't a good idea. But at the moment, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you want to get there, I mean, maybe it could be a good idea. So
maybe it could be.
It could be a good idea.
I used to not do. Dave knows this. It's just piss him off. I used to not drink hard alcohol.
I remember you saying that one time.
Yeah, it really wasn't. And this is also going to make my profession sound terrible, but I didn't start drinking hard alcohol until I worked at a bar. And at first I started just like getting into like bourbons and whiskeys in general because I worked at a whiskey bar. Mm-hmm. And that was my first drink of choice. I didn't start really taking, but I would be drinking them neat. Like I would order them neat like at the end of a shift or whatever. Mm-hmm. I guess still somewhat responsible. It wasn't until I specifically started bartending where I started taking shots. And then there was some bartender that was training me that, I think it was that day. And I'm still friends with him to today. What's up, Nico? He suggested that I drink tequila instead of whiskey because it's an upper and not a downer. He said it's the only alcohol that's an upper and not a downer. I never Googled that ever or fact checked that at all. I just took that as fact for the rest of my life. And like, I'm like, well, if I'm going to drink an alcohol, I better drink tequila.
And it like, it worked out. It was true. Like,
oh yeah. Everything worked out. Sure. Yeah. I've never drank too much or had too much tequila in my life.
I've heard that too, that like tequilas are uppers. And like, I've never really noticed it too much until I drank tequila a few times. I'm like, okay, I'm not as fucked up like as quick as I would be if I were to be drinking Jameson.
Or are you fucked up, but you are not but you just have more energy. So you think, you're better. I'm actually gonna look it up.
That's probably it too, actually.
Because that's what it is. I think you're just as fucked up, but with energy instead of. Because if that's the case, like if you're drunk and you do coke and you have more energy, you know, you think like, oh, this cleared me up. I'm really good.
In my mind, yeah.
Like, now I'm good to go. But really, you're more fucked up than had you not even done that line.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah, but everybody that does coke thinks that like, oh, that now I'm good. Now I'm clear. I just drank a lot and did a ton of shots, but that drug that I just did helped me, and now I'm even better to go.
In my mind, that's kind of how it works, right? That's why, like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, do like whatever, like, oh, and I feel better. I don't feel as drunk as I was feeling, or maybe it's a mind trick. Maybe it doesn't really do anything. Like, I don't know.
I think that's why coke is such an
it's popular, bro.
Well, obviously, I think it's, and if I was still able to do it, I'd be doing it. But I think that's why it's such a popular drug, is because it fools you into thinking that you can get fucked up better.
It's been lying to me for years.
Yeah.
And it's still lying. I still go back. That's like the relationship that you know is not good for you and you're still there. Like, leave. You ever seen them? There's memes on Instagram, like, there's dudes at the bar drinking and they go, who's going to buy the first bag? Like, get the bag. Like, I'll send it to you. It's fucking hilarious because it's true.
Yeah.
As soon as you crack open that first beer or do that first shot, it's
for
like.
Sure. I would want coke.
You get
right
that
away,
Dave Chappelle itch, like, damn, who got the bag?
I've said it often on this show, but because I have like a nose that's messed up, I can't really do cocaine
you're
anymore.
saying that.
And it's so good that happened, because I would be doing all the coke if I was into it, or if my nose allowed me to be into it. I get that feeling. Yeah. Like,
but it's a good thing you can't.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Would kind of put you down a rabbit hole that it's gonna be hard to get out of.
My nose knew. They're like, but God was like, I need to fuck his nose up, because if not,
I mean, be saving from himself, right?
Yeah. He's not. He has. I'm going to design him so he has zero willpower. So therefore, let me fuck up his.
It's crazy, but like I look at shit prospectively like that too. There's a reason why this is not happening, or that is not happening, or I can do this, I can do that. Maybe it's something. Maybe God's looking out, or maybe the universe is looking out. Like, try to look at it in that perspective sometimes.
I only look at it in the perspective that God didn't allow me to be a cokehead. And for that, I'll never forgive him.
Right.
Tequila is not an upper.
Oh, wow.
Contrary to popular belief and widespread myth, and my old coworker, Nico, by the way, I typed in, is tequila, and Google suggested an upper ?
Like,
so there's a lot of assholes like us that believe this fucking
Someone's
myth.
searching it right now. Like,
tequila, like every other type of alcohol, is a downer, better known as a depressant, according to science, the CDC, and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
So it's not an upper.
No, so I could be doing whiskey. I could be doing gin.
Wow.
Shots of gin. Never. That always sounded weird. Shots of vodka and shots of gin. Unless you're a Russian person, shots of vodka to me always seemed weird.
It seems harsh. Like
Shots
it's
of
rough.
Gin to me is always the weirdest.
Yeah. I don't think I've had a shot of gin. Like, hey, let's go do a shot of gin. I'm like, I feel like I've had it. Like what's the green bottle, Tanqueray, something like that. Yeah, I've had that before, but I've never like had like a shot of gin.
It's weird. I always think it's weird when someone orders a shot of gin. I think it's
like, who are you, Snoop Dogg? Like, goddamn, right? Yeah. Gin and juice.
Also, that's weird to me that gin and juice is like such a hood drink apparently in the West Coast because
that song never made me want to do gin and juice.
No, me neither.
I was like, I don't want to do this shit.
Once I was a bartender and I knew it's gin and orange juice too, specifically. Like,
I think so.
Yeah, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good at all.
It's like lamb and tuna fish, right? Like the random ass pairing. I don't know, gin and.
That is. Why did you just? Have you had lamb and tuna fish?
Big Daddy? The reference, like.
Wow, that's a. I don't remember that.
Rob
reference.
Schneider was talking to the kid. Yeah, he's like lamb and tuna fish, like.
I don't remember that.
No, you see that movie.
Of all the Big Daddy references, that's the one you pulled out.
It's so stuck in my head.
Not like hip hoppopotamus.
That's one good too. Like when he's trying to like Adam Sandler ask him a question, he's like Benjamin Franklin, like shit like that, and
you're pulling out the weird ones. To me, it's hip hoppopotamus. I wipe my own ass.
That's a good
one. What's another quotable from Big Daddy? You gave him all the easy ones.
That's a good one. God damn, you give all the easy ones.
Do you remember the wrestler that they mentioned in that movie?
No.
It's the one, because remember he teaches him how to put a sleeper hold on somebody?
Yes.
It was like you put the sleeper hold on him, like, and then he names this wrestler.
No, I don't remember. Damn it.
And the kid even says it again in the courtroom scene. Like when they ask him, like, what have you learned from Sonny or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that scene, but damn it. I'm drawing a blank on that.
So he says something like, he taught me how to put the sweeper hold on. Like Chief J Strongbow.
Oh yeah, I would never got that. I was trying to think about it, and I couldn't.
You're dropping Benjamin Franklin, but the wrestling fan can't say the one wrestling reference in that show.
All the quotes you said about the movie were better. I'm here talking about lamb and tuna fish, right?
Yeah, I did not know. I don't know.
Someone's out there gonna get that.
There's one person.
Gonna get. That's all I need.
Rob Schneider's watching this. Like, yeah.
Rob Schneider's like, damn it, he saw the movie.
Rob Schneider's like have you seen? He's like a right wing.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's a super right wing. Hates like liberals and
oh damn,
and woke shit and all that stuff. Which is funny because Adam Sandler seems like the opposite of that.
Yeah, I don't see. Well, he doesn't really talk too much about like politics or
no, because he's very smart.
Yeah. He keeps that separate.
He wouldn't.
I don't want to ruin the brand, so let's not. All right.
I mean, dude, that guy literally makes movies with his friends for a living.
That's got to be the ultimate flex, right? Like, I'll make sure all my boys are hired to do this random movie. Not that they're random, but you know what I mean.
Speaking of Adam Sandler flexes, do you know the movie 50 First Dates?
Yes, of course.
I heard, again, you know what? I'm going to not fact check this one and just live with the myth, because if it's not true, then I'll be sad again. But I feel like I heard from somebody or read it once that original script or movie or whatever was not going to take place in Hawaii at all. It was like some regular city, you know, like in America, whether it's New York or Chicago or LA or whatever. And Adam was like, I think I'd rather spend 3 months in Hawaii. Let's just rewrite this thing and with Hawaii as the setting. And they switched, you know, he became like a marine biologist and shit and made it work. And for no reason, the movie was based in Hawaii.
I mean, it could be true, but the way it worked out, it's a classic, bro.
And by the way, based on a true story.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
I learned this recently. There's actually a chick out there. There's actually a woman out there who lost her memory and had a husband that had to remind her
every
day of that they're married and that they're together and all that shit.
I think the movie was so good that like people forget that's like what's happening, right? He has to reintroduce himself, reintroduce their relationship, their love every day.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was amazing. Like that last scene when they're on the boat, like showing them the pictures of like the kids and stuff, and the kids come out, I was like, oh man.
Don't cry.
I was about to say, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. You see me in Cool Runnings, bro.
Yeah. You did cry. See that hog? I remember that we went to a hog and got really fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Cole ended up falling asleep.
Yeah.
On the couch. He left the next day.
Yeah, he left the next day, like 12 or so.
We were talking about how one time Dave and Cole spent the night here after one of my get-togethers, and that the two of them make themselves so comfortable at like other people's houses. Excuse me, especially Dave at mine. That like I remember waking up and going downstairs to see if there was anyone that was left over from the party or who's still here. And not only are Dave and Cole in my basement, they're already awake watching TV, eating food that they had delivered to my apartment.
What the hell?
Like me and Val were sleeping. And I wake up. I'm like, y'all couldn't order us any
For real?
fucking breakfast.
Not
Like,
even
oh, we didn't know you wanted it. You're fucking sleeping. I was like, God damn.
Assholes, right?
That was when Dave tried to put me onto Ted Lasso
It's pretty good.
by making me watch the episode that he was up to. So
It's some Dave shit, though.
Of course, it's the most, it's the
That's some
most
Dave
Dave
shit.
shit. He's like talking it up, and I was like, all right, put on the pilot. Like, I'll put on episode 1. I'll give it a shot. He's like, nah, bro, I'm up to season 3, episode 7, but you know, you'll figure it out. Like, no, I will not. Like, I know it's not Game of Thrones, but also season 3, episode 7, or some
Like,
shit. Like,
isn't their season like the last one?
maybe it was season 2, episode 7,
Yeah,
or some
like,
shit like that. I don't know.
My
what
man,
the fuck's
like
going
put on the last episode of like the series, like
and
you'll get it.
and by the way, shocker, I never watched another episode again.
You didn't like it?
Not really, but also, like, Dave was a bad spokesperson for Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Like, Apple TV should charge Dave money because I bet there's 14 other people out there that have boycotted Ted Lasso because something Dave said or did.
God damn
about
it, Dave. Right?
Yeah.
There was like a way better like explanation of the show waiting, and he just like, nah, let me explain it my way.
I also don't like shows that like everyone, including like critics, says this is the new hotness.
You have to like give it a chance yourself.
Yeah, I need it to not be such a media darling type of show.
Okay.
Like that. Like it's a reason why I didn't really watch Succession until like yesterday.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Okay, but yeah, but you're like a Power guy.
I love Power. Yeah, I watch them all, man. I'm like, I just saw the episode today. Actually, like,
Well, what is it? Is it like it's one of the spinoffs? No. Like,
yeah, Raising Kanan.
Raising Kanan.
They're in Queens in like the early '90s. This is like the story of 50 Cent and how he's kind of
Kanan is 50 Cent's
Kanan,
character.
50 Cent, yeah.
Oh.
So his story about his mom, who was like a drug dealer, and like she creates her empire. So he's trying to like do his own thing, but also still be like separated from his mom in a sense of like I want to do like my own thing. And
there was there's another spinoff with like a white like cop or some shit. Isn't
the white dude Tommy.
I guess.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Force.
Force.
And they're in Chicago.
And so yeah, they're just doing spinoffs with that shit.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's gonna keep going because
it's
there's
the
like
50 verse basically.
the 50 verse. That's a good way to put
The
it.
50 verse.
That one show Power created like 5 shows, like, and he has a lot now.
There was the Ghost, like Book of Ghost or some shit.
Yeah,
like that?
the Ghost Power Book 2 is the story of Ghost's son Tariq.
Okay.
And Tariq is like creating his own empire after. I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it.
I don't think I'm ever gonna watch Power.
Okay, well, like, should I just say what happened? Like,
Well, I don't know. Are you gonna piss off anybody out
I
there?
hope not. Like, I hope you've seen it. The season finale of that series was like 4
what,
years
of
ago.
Power?
Of the original Power.
The series finale.
Series finale of that Power.
You want to spoil it? Go for it.
All right. Well,
I have this thing where I love, and I've never done it with Power, but I love like just finding out. I might have talked about this on last week's episode. I love finding out the way things end, just to know, even if it's something I've never given a fuck about. Like I've looked up, the plots to the final episodes of series that I've never watched.
Does that change like your anticipation of watching the show? Like,
Well, that's the thing. Usually when I'm doing it, it's for a show that I have zero interest in.
Oh, okay. I would say like you wouldn't do that for a show you really want to see.
No. There's only been one show, kind of ever. I mean, I guess I've still never watched it, but that the reading the ending of it made me want to be like, I should give that entire show a watch.
What show was that?
6 Feet Under apparently has one of the greatest series finales of all time.
I might put it on my list now. I never heard of it actually.
Yeah, because 6 Feet Under is about like, I'm gonna get back to you spoiling Power. Don't worry. 6 Feet Under, I think it takes place in or revolves around like a funeral home. I think.
Okay.
It's actually I forgot the actor's name, but the guy that plays Dexter.
Okay.
He that was like one of his first big roles. He was in 6 Feet Under for like years. And the series finale, it's not really a spoiler, I think, but what they do is they take every main character, and since the whole series revolves around death, the final scene is like they fast forward into the future of every character's like death or whatever. Shows like not really how they die, but like when they die and like the effects of their death or whatever. And it does it
Pretty
for
cool.
like every character. And then it people of the show have said that it was one of the strongest, like most poignant finales ever. And it sounded so creatively original to me that I was like, I might give that show a try.
That sounds really cool though.
Yeah.
To go into each perspectives, like 6 different people, or whatever it was, like that sounds cool.
And it's not like that show was always like doing things like fast forwarding and rewinding to to the past. Like they just chose it for like the final episode.
That's cool.
So now, spoil Power.
We're gonna spoil Power now.
How long was that show? 5 seasons? 4 seasons? Longer?
So the original Power had 3 seasons, right?
That's it. Oh.
Yeah. That's
Stars?
Stars, yeah.
Okay.
And long story short, Ghost has his empire. He has 3 kids, his wife, and he's kind of like starts like cheating on his wife because he reconnected with his high school sweetheart. During this time, he's opening up clubs. He's like drug dealing.
I mean, long story short was a lie.
Long story. All right, long story short for real.
Not just do story. Just story.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Wait, so long story short, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq ends up killing his father, Ghost,
Okay.
because of just like the trauma he's endured of like Ghost cheating on his mom and whatever, and like him.
I heard someone recently say, "Is Ghost really dead or not?"
Oh my god! Imagine he wasn't.
So I don't know. God, oh my god, it'd be crazy.
Yeah,
No idea.
it would
Like,
be.
is there any possibility?
I mean, I don't think so because like they showed him falling off the balcony in the club.
Okay.
Like Tariq shoots him.
Yeah.
And he like did like this like Matrix type of fall off the balcony, and like you see him like that.
On what? Like, does he fall on a
floor.
car? Or he fell
on the floor? Yeah,
Okay.
on the floor. So yeah, I think he's dead.
Okay.
So yeah.
Power wasn't crazy. They didn't do any crazy shit. Like,
I mean, like the series.
yeah.
There's a lot of violence. A lot.
No,
of,
but I mean, like
like the ending.
No, would him being alive be considered
Oh.
something too crazy for Power?
I think it would be too
Okay.
Marvel-esque.
Okay.
Like-
yeah.
like-
Because I'm saying if this is a Marvel movie, you'd be like, he's coming back for sure.
Yeah,
you know?
like
Yeah,
you could go into like different
Was that the
you know-
finale then? Ghost is shot.
Yeah, Ghost shot and dead, and then like that's like kind of how Power Book 2 starts. Power Book 2 Ghost. That's Tariq's story.
Okay.
So as soon as
why is Tariq's story called Ghost?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Shouldn't it be Power Book 2 Tariq?
That's what I'm saying. I just never really like. I thought about it when it came out. I'm like, why is it called Ghost? Because we already saw a Ghost story.
And it doesn't go back into like it's not a prequel, a Ghost prequel, is it?
No.
Is he even in the?
You would actually say, well, I would say that Raising Kanan is a prequel to Power,
Right.
You know, but they don't show Ghost yet. They do meet in high school.
No, but is Ghost in Book 2 or Tariq?
No, like they show like.
So why is it named that?
I don't know.
All right, this is your show. You like this show?
Yeah.
This show's still on. There's no finale to this one yet.
Well, this spinoff, Raising Kanan, is going on right now.
Raising Kanan, Book 2 Ghost,
Yeah.
and Book what? Force.
Force, yeah. Power Book 4, Force.
So there's 3. Whatever. These 3 books are all still open
Yeah. Also open.
at the same time. Okay.
Yeah. They take breaks. So when like the season finale of Ghosts happens, then they go right to Chicago and a different story.
All Stars.
All Stars, yeah.
Do Stars have anything else besides Power spin-offs?
Heels with
That's true. I heard it got canceled though. So
Did it get canceled?
I thought it
actually
just
saw
got canceled.
the both seasons. It's pretty good.
I saw season 1.
Stephen Amell?
I don't know if I even finished the whole season. I couldn't get.
I liked it.
that
I really
into
did. It was simple. It's a wrestling show. CM Punk was in it. AJ Lee. Like
I saw the Punk episode.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was not bad for a wrestling, but I think I still felt a little pandered to as a wrestling fan, and still felt like some of it wasn't like that realistic.
You're also hard to please, I think, in terms of like wrestling products. Like you gotta have like what you want. You know, like it has to be like set out perfectly.
Well, are you talking about wrestling in general, or
I
like,
feel like you're like a wrestling connoisseur. Like you're a real fan. You know what you want to see. I don't know if Heels would have given you that.
Yeah, no, I did. You're right, because I did get that type of like movies like The Iron Claw and The Wrestler. To me, treated it with enough
depth,
respect, and realism. There's moments of Heels where like I don't think that the entire like storyline. Well, a big part of the storyline was literally who was winning and who was losing. Wrestlers are very business, you know. Yeah. Like as long as we're getting paid or whatever. But like they created family drama because I deserve the title, you know. Like it's like that doesn't really, in my opinion, that doesn't happen that often unless it's like because I'm not getting the title, I'm not getting money, you know. But like that's not what it was. Like that's when I remember thinking that like Heels was a little too. It wasn't as realistic for the wrestling business as it should be. And I know it's almost like an oxymoronic because the wrestling business is based on fucking it being fixed and but you know, there's the Wrestler and Iron Claw did a really good job at having it be like a realistic portrayal or review.
Definitely two of the best wrestling bodies of work I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, not that it's a very deep pool to.
Like if you want to get a good story arc and like depth and like some real emotion behind something, like definitely watch Iron Claw, more recent, and The Wrestler with like Mickey Rourke. That's one of my favorites.
Right.
The Heels was very like, not like basic, but like you know when scenes just cut to different scenes, it wasn't very fluid.
Right.
There wasn't really a lot of oomph behind the story. It was more so for like content, more so for like this. We're gonna make a wrestling show with Stephen Amell. It's gonna be very like. Very basic, but I enjoyed it. I think
they tried to make it appeal to non-wrestling fans a little too much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And in doing that, I think they alienated
the real wrestling fans
a little bit. But it's a tough audience to make, you know, to have be your meat and potatoes for getting ratings. So I didn't really. I'm not surprised that they canceled that show.
For sure.
So that's not on Stars anymore.
Not because he said it's canceled.
So what is?
Yeah, I mean that's
it's the power station basically.
I never even had Stars. I wait until it goes online the next day, and I literally
online like illegally. You're a pirateur. Wow.
Sorry guys.
But you do that. You like never pay for a pay-per-view, right? Like you never.
I mean,
I'm surprised you have Peacock.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Because I used to stream everything from my PlayStation and my phone. And like that site we're using to watch like Raw or SmackDown, like sometimes it's good, but sometimes the pop-ups are so annoying that like you put your phone down and there's another pop-up. So you got to keep closing it out. And the same thing with the PlayStation. It got annoying when I started having some friends over trying to watch a pay-per-view and I stream it. I get the stream, right? And then randomly pop up and I can't go back.
I don't think I've ever had, whether it's with friends over or alone, a successful night from beginning to end of a pay-per-view
that was illegally streamed.
Right.
Bro, same.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Like,
and yet we try every time.
Yeah.
And we're chasing the dragon.
I have a good link.
Yeah.
And we all have our phones out. Yo, I got this one, like connected to the TV or whatever.
I know.
Nah, never.
Dude, that's why like I'm so happy that like wrestling, like WWE pay-per-views or pay-per-views are on Peacock now.
It's such a luxury, man. Like we're spoiled. We're spoiled with the network.
Yeah. And that's why I have Peacock.
You're gonna give wrestling fans all this content for like what, $9, $10, whatever it was.
Dude, I used to buy, well, not even just wrestling DVDs, but I used to have like over 200-300 DVDs at home.
Wow.
Like I was like the DVD, and I used to buy a lot of wrestling ones too. I had every WrestleMania from like 1 to like 26 or something, 25, because I had that box set.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had the box set of WrestleMania, which was 1 through 21. And then after that, I kept buying each one. And then the network came out, and it's like, not only do I have every WrestleMania ever, I have every Royal Rumble ever, I have every SummerSlam, I have every Monday Night Raw. Like it was a spoil of riches, you know. Like,
It really did kill like the DVD, CD,
which
business.
surprisingly enough, the WWE just put out their last DVD like this past week.
Survivor Series.
Was that what it was?
I was just gonna say that.
That's
but
a hell of a last
you
one.
beat me to it. Yeah, but it's a great one.
Yeah.
Like good match, War Games, and CM Punk returning.
That means that the last thing ever to come out on a WWE DVD is
right. That's awesome.
That's when Teddy knocked a beer out of like Lenny's
Oh, my
hand.
God.
Yo, Teddy, why you always spilling beer on floors?
Right?
Teddy, I've never seen.
Why watch you spill a beer now? Right?
I've never. We'll call it the Teddy. I've never had a friend in my life end up sockless.
Sockless.
More like I don't know. I end up barefoot.
Sockless sounds funnier, but yeah.
Sockless.
Yeah,
Sockless Teddy. Sockless Teddy sounds like he's a hobo.
Yeah, right? Like Mick Foley.
And it's like, oh, look at old Sockless Teddy over there.
Oh, my God.
Just got fired from Trader Joe's. Sockless Teddy. I've never have I had a friend that found a reason to be barefoot and sockless more
enjoys it,
than
right?
Teddy. Yeah. He had a good run where he like stopped doing it because early on, you weren't hanging out with us here too much during like the early days that we were here. Maybe even before I started officially living here till like when I just started. But like around the pandemic and once it was like ending, he would always do two things: fall asleep on the floor in the middle of the party, just right on. We'd all have to walk around him.
Like the worst spot to fall asleep.
He just passes out, and always with no sockless. He would. One time he threw his socks across the living room.
Like drunken.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, and like. Of course they were wet, I believe, and I just left. I'm like, I am not like. First of all, if I have to dodge your sock, there's no way I'm returning your sock to you. Like,
yeah, it's staying there. Wherever it landed, that's where it's gonna stay. It's probably gonna live there now to help pay rent too.
I remember that was when Teddy and Monica like first like we got together, and I would just look at Monica. I'm like, this you? This you, right?
Your boy?
And Monica would be like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into?
Nah, we love Teddy though, man.
No,
Oh my God.
not when he takes his socks off and throws them at you.
Until he throws the socks, right?
Monica got her like fingerprints in on him, not literally, but like has molded him into. He stopped falling asleep randomly in the middle of the floor and stopped taking off his socks. Except for recently, suddenly at the last two parties I've thrown, he ends up sockless, falling down my stairs.
He fell down last time?
Yeah.
Wait, was that? I thought
It
that
was
was Gucci.
so
that
funny. No, 2 times ago, like Gucci.
okay.
I wasn't here for when Gucci fell.
Okay, I remember that.
I heard that she fell.
Yeah.
Chanel, we should say.
Oh, Chanel. Yeah, Chanel. That's a good one.
I heard she. Me and Val have been here for a while and never fallen down those stairs.
I don't think I have fallen either.
Nobody has, dude.
I also grab like the fuck.
I have a
rail.
good amount of fear, a healthy amount of fear. Every time. I have a spiral staircase for those that have never been here. A spiral staircase that makes me sound mad rich, and I do live in a duplex, and there's a spiral staircase that goes from our first floor to the basement. And I'm the klutz that I am, dude. I'm always terrified that it's not only that it's gonna happen, but that it's also going to happen like when I'm carrying the most food or something. You know what I mean?
That's the scariest time. When I'm drinking, I'm starting to get a little drunk, and I'll go upstairs for whatever reason because the bathroom's occupied. I'll go upstairs real quick. I grab the rail like there's no tomorrow. I'm not letting go of that rail until I'm at both feet planted.
I was wondering why you were putting rock climbing gear every night.
Oh, right. Why I walk down so slow, right?
Belay away. And then at one point, I think it was my birthday, Teddy, who... he always has something go catastrophically wrong. Or not always, but he's the one I associate with things going catastrophically wrong during like a beer run from the fridge. Because he was coming back from the fridge and all I heard was a huge commotion. I couldn't see what happened, and I was like, "Someone, please tell me that was Teddy."
Most likely, right?
And it was 100% Teddy. That
Wait,
came
like
falling.
that's when he fell.
That's when they said he fell down the stairs.
Oh my God! The guys that got the whoa.
I barely remember, dude. I know. I didn't think you ever get drunk in a night and
have I?
That's it. That's the question.
That's it, right?
You ever? All right, you go out, you get drunk, and the next day. Either the next day or a couple days later, whatever, you look back and you're like, that was pretty good. Like I got drunk, but it wasn't too crazy. Like I was a good, like perfect amount of drunk, whatever. And then suddenly you start remembering things, or people start telling you things that you did or that happened, and you're like, I do not remember that.
That happens a lot. And I'm working on, like, I guess you would like call it blacking out because you don't remember certain things.
Yeah, I've heard it called browning out too.
That's a good one too.
I think Always Sunny in Philadelphia came up with browning out.
That's a good one.
Where,
I haven't heard like many people use it, but yeah, browning out is good too because you're not blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's moments where you don't remember.
Right. Blackout to me is like almost like comatose, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember shit. You don't even remember that you were out.
I try not to get there anymore. I think that's what I'm really working on. And why I'm like drinking my non-alcoholic Heinekens for dry January. I'm trying to like set some standards for myself. I'm not saying I'm never going to drink again. I'm saying this like I want to be able to like fight the urge sometimes and not push it. Because there's been many times where like Tony has told me, yo, bro, like, you remember what you said? Remember what you did? Like, you couldn't even.
You called me a cunt.
No, she hates that word. Like, that word is so like aggressive too, right? Like,
I didn't. I remember learning that cunt was like the trigger word for women. It was like I
it
learned
just
in
sounds
high
bad.
school.
Like, it sounds crazy.
I guess.
Yeah.
Ever in high school there was like a teacher that was like, ladies, stay quiet for this one. Guys, do you know what's like the worst thing you could call a woman? And like a bunch of us were like, bitch. And like every bitch in the room was like, nah, no biggie. Like, we're cool with it. And I think someone was like, whore, slut. And like someone was like,
harlot,
Jezebel. And then there was some dude that was like not like, he was definitely, I remember it being like, of course this motherfucker knew that.
He answered the question before.
He was like, cunt. And you could see every girl in the room go like, oh yeah, fucking. And I remember I was like, I've never learned more in high school. It was, by the way, religion class that I learned that in. Isn't that weird?
What a way to learn it.
Yeah, in human sex and love. I remember that.
You never forget that.
I also just learned the last week. Mm-hmm. You ever heard someone say, wow, she's a real see you next Tuesday?
No, never.
You've never heard that?
No, never.
I've heard that a bunch of times, always like on TV and stuff. It's apparently a very nice, refined way of calling someone a cunt.
I just put it together in my mind. It's like abbreviations of it.
See you next Tuesday.
That's such a better. I mean, I'm not gonna steal that, but that's pretty clever. Whoever invented that.
Yeah.
Because you're not saying it, but you're saying it.
Yeah.
And if you know, you know.
It's like, I remember there was this scene in The Office where like Angela goes something like, in my old household, we used to say, it looks like she got off the slow train from Philadelphia or something like that. Like, that's like, what the fuck? That's basically like a see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I didn't know that at all.
That's like the PG version of saying it without
for sure. Like, all right, this episode's not going to come out for like a little while, so I'm going to see how many times I can say see you next Tuesday to Val.
Oh,
before she listens to this episode and realizes.
Good luck.
What I was calling her this.
I can't say that one time to Tony because I think I said it talking about some actress. I don't know, Brie Larson. I'm not a fan of her or some shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, she doesn't do it for me.
You called her a cunt?
I think I did. I was just so frustrated trying to explain why I don't like her.
By the way, in my head, you and Tony were walking down like Lexington Ave, Fifth Ave, and Brie Larson just happened to be walking down the opposite side, and you were like, yo, cunt! Marvel sucked.
I hate it, right? We're just talking randomly about, we always watch Infinity War. That's like our movie. Like, we've seen it like 1,000 times. And we're going to see it 1,000 more times because I plan to be with her forever.
Infinity War, not Endgame.
No, Infinity War is...
War.
That's, for me, that's the movie.
Okay.
You might... Like, what's your favorite Marvel movie, if you were to say?
Favorite Marvel movie?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I can tell you that I have... There's two scenes that I have... I've gone back and like rewatched more than anything else in Marvel. And it's the fight scene in Endgame.
That is iconic, though. For sure.
Which I'm such a bitch will literally bring me to tears sometimes watching the fight scene. Yeah, especially like when there's two parts, like the when the women get together and kick ass, like that shit always. And then the when they all when Cap thinks he's gonna die, like it's like all hope is lost, and suddenly he hears "On Your Left," like
that is pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's iconic, but like getting there to me was like kind of like a struggle. I feel like it should have been an extension of Infinity War.
I think any movie that just ends on such a cliffhanger is like...
Yeah.
Although I can agree that perhaps Infinity War was like the better movie.
It was a like great setup. Just overall, if you were to compare both movies, like Infinity War did it for me. Story, action, suspense, that type of thing. Endgame was just like, all right, we're gonna finish this story type of shit.
I think it's just they just stuck the landing.
Yeah.
Like, it was like Endgame was like, we don't really have to do anything crazy here. Besides, we have to nail this fight scene.
That they didn't miss.
Right.
That like was a home run.
The other scene in Marvel that I will go back and rewatch often is in the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
The Ravager funeral for Yondu.
Okay.
Well, it's almost impossible to me watch that and not tear up or full blown cry. And it's like the one reason that like that movie was like not the best for me until like I got to the end and I was like, oh, this is.
It makes sense.
It just made everything worth it for me.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember the scene that well.
I remember it, but not like specifically.
Like Yondu gives up his life to save Star-Lord, and at that point, he had been like excommunicated from the Ravagers.
Okay.
And, Rocket reveals that he had sent out word to the Ravagers of Yondu's passing and why he passed away, that he sacrificed his life for Star-Lords or whatever. And all the Ravager spaceships returned for Yondu's funeral, and then there was this whole like huge fireworks scenes that they gave in honor of him, and they called it. They're like they came. It's a Ravager funeral. They came.
I definitely gotta watch that again.
Oh,
it's been a while.
I think it'll bring tears. You cried at Cool Runnings, so you might.
I mean, you probably know now. Like I'm a crier. Like I try to like hide it, but like certain movies, The Notebook. Yeah, well, fuck, that shit gets me, man.
Never seen The Notebook.
What?
Yeah,
The Notebook's a banger, man.
Literally have zero desire. I've never had any desire.
I think you just need to watch it just because it's a classic, and then like through like social media and life, like people have said it's iconic. Like watch it just for that. I'm not saying it's like the greatest.
What do you think? It's like like an iconic like romance film or whatever?
Yeah, like romance story.
What's another movie that you think is similar, or is a romance movie you think is?
That's a good question. Similar to The Notebook?
Yeah, because it's not a romantic comedy, right? And I feel like we could list probably 5 or 10 romantic comedies right now.
Yeah.
That's just pure romance, right? Like.
Yeah, there's nothing comedic about the movie.
Yeah, so like
what? Damn, I gotta go through some movies now. Straight romance movie?
Because I feel like they're few and far between nowadays.
Would you call Titanic a romance movie?
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I mean, it's probably more than that. It's probably like a period piece romance movie. Yeah, but and I feel like you wouldn't call it an action movie, but there's action in it.
No, there's a lot of action. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Romance, yeah.
Because Notebook doesn't have any like, I don't know. There's no action in that.
No, just straight like.
There's like a scene.
Love and lust.
There's a scene in a pond or some shit like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What is it? If you're a swan, I'm a swan. Is that the line? Or if you're a goose, I'm a goose?
I think,
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
Come on. You said it's iconic.
I don't analyze it line for line, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never had any desire to see that. And I remember when I was in high school, everyone was like, well, you would love it. You're so gay. And I'm like, oh,
what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I remember. People,
Jesus.
I remember they were like, well, you like Sex and the City and
I've never seen
women
Sex and the City.
Yeah, well, if you love The Notebook, maybe you should watch Sex and the City.
I guess if they like pair together, I might as well give it a chance, right? Like,
I was just talking about this with my guest last week or 2 weeks ago, depending when I put this out, where I can't really go back and rewatch Sex and the City now, but I was almost obsessed with it when it was first out and a couple years afterwards. But now I can't ever really watch anything that revolves around like rich people. Or like mostly like if it's like no like minorities around, I'm like, it's the whitest richest show around. Like I'm not very interested or whatever.
But you enjoyed it at one point.
At one point I did, yeah. And I tried watching it again like a couple of years ago, and I was like, I am not. The characters are pissing me off too much suddenly.
You think it's because like you're like in a different time in your life?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, or have I been so infected by the idea of like privilege?
We do use the word privilege a lot.
Well, I mean, that's because we have such a privileged friend. Cole, we have the most privileged friend in Cole.
I don't think I've ever used the word as often as I have in like the football chat or like. I was like, sometimes I want to call this guy privileged. I'm like, I get it. Like,
do you know the story behind how we like started using that word a lot with Cole?
I think you mentioned it, but like.
So besides the fact that Cole is just like a white finance dude, and so using the privileged word would make sense with him. We were at Elements when it was at the what was remember the original site that had the camp, like the summer camp as already set up?
Yeah, I didn't go to that one, but I've seen pictures of like the cabins. It was like a Jewish summer camp, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we were like in a cabin that year. One of the like, I guess exhibits that they had or whatever, they used this gym, this like basketball court gym, as like a little, not even stage or whatever. They like put some like trippy decorations in there and threw some basketballs around, and you can literally just shoot around on like a hardwood floor court basketball,
like an actual like real legit court. That's
and
cool.
I remember like going from stage to stage on a cocktail of drugs like Molly and fucking
all the above,
weed and alcohol and K and whatever shrooms, and we come across the basketball courts and we're like, we should start picking up the ball and shooting around. I don't think I made a single shot.
It would be impressive if you did on that drug
I really don't. I remember thinking like, I am not good on all these drugs. Like I thought like maybe you imagine I have like fucking super accuracy and I'm like, oh no, I don't.
You just way off like along came Polly like.
So we were like just at the courts and I forgot who brought up it was me. I remember specifically me, Cole, and Monica. And at one point, someone was like, oh, like go, Cole, just drive it to the rim or whatever. We're not even playing a game. We're just like shooting around. And someone said, what do white people even yell while driving to the rim? And Monica goes, privilege.
Oh my God. That's iconic.
And I just imagine, do you remember that movie A Knight's Tale?
Yeah, vaguely.
With Heath Ledger?
Keira Knightley, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I've seen it, but not like enough to like remember anything.
I recommend rewatching that like soon because it holds up really well.
Okay.
And I think you'll realize that it was kind of underrated even at the time.
That's where they do like the jousting and shit, right? Yeah, okay. All right.
Good cast too, because fucking Paul Bettany's in that, who's Vision.
Yes.
Mark Addy's in that, who was the first king in Game of Thrones that dies. Joffrey's illegitimate father or whatever, or actually his father. The guy, he was in The Full Monty. He's a really good actor too. I forgot who else, that other someone else is in that who was also in Dodgeball. But it was a good cast.
Yeah. Tony likes. I've seen it like once, but not enough to like remember anything.
You should watch it.
I'm gonna rewatch it.
Holds up. I remember showing it to Val like last year, and she was like, "This is a great movie." Yeah. There's a scene where Heath Ledger's character, his name is William, and the scene literally is him on a horse in a joust, slow motion, yelling his own name as he like aims a lance at somebody, and it's slow motion. It's just William,
and gets him.
And that's how I imagine Cole driving to the basket.
This ain't Cole.
It's no. It's slow motion, and then he goes privilege. And then he misses it, but the ref gives him the 2 points anyway because he's privileged.
Activate privilege card.
Can I speak to the manager? I deserve these 2 points.
That went in. I don't know what you saw, but that went in. Goaltending. The light was too low.
I'm sure he'll love the retelling of that story.
Nah, that's hilarious. Mon says a lot of funny shit, man. I steal some of her shit sometimes. Shout out to Mon.
She doesn't listen to this fucking shit.
Oh, well.
So
If she does,
we can say whatever we want about it. But that she's never once referenced something I said on this
nah,
shit.
that shit was hilarious. She would say that shit, and then that stuck forever.
It did, yeah.
That transcends time. It's in our fantasy football chat, like, you know.
But it's the most apropos word we've ever associated with somebody is privilege with Cole.
I mean, you guys say fucking privilege. The first time I read that, I was like, what? I know I missed something because I'm still fairly new in the league, right?
Yeah.
You know, you guys like known each other forever. Y'all the boys. So I'm reading that and I'm like, telling Tony, I'm like, what the fuck did Cole do? Like, like
What did Cole do?
what did he do? They pissed him off.
He was born with that color. He was born with the privilege,
He
bro.
was born. That's what happened, right? Like,
Born with a silver privileged spoon in his mouth.
oh my god.
It's not true at all, but it doesn't matter. Like for us,
Like,
like
it just like works.
yeah,
Yeah, he just we're not gonna let it go. Like, you know.
he gets the least amount of like leeway, or there's no benefit of the doubt when it comes to Cole.
You think it's because also that he's like a 3-time league winner that adds to like now we're gonna really use it? Or?
Well, I mean, yeah, that for sure was part of it, but also because he's just so privileged. I mean,
yeah, right.
no, it's just, yeah, that was part of it. I don't know. We've always given him a hard time for Cole has this thing where, yes, he's white, but this sounds weird. He's never had this white pride. He's never had white pride, you know? He's always like, I love Spanish girls.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I don't like white girls. Date him? No way.
I wonder if he's ever been with like a nice little Jewish girl, you know?
I don't think so.
Nah,
I wouldn't say so.
I don't think so either.
Honestly, it's weird. Like, I forget he's white. I forget people's, like, this is going to sound crazy, right? I forget people's, like backgrounds, ethnicities. Sometimes I just see the person because we're all family. We're all friends. I just forget, like, oh, he's Jewish, or he's Puerto Rican, or Tony's Asian. Like, you see the person, you see like who they are, and that like transcends, you know? Does that make any sense?
No.
Okay, well.
No, you're a fucking kumbaya over here. No,
like, you know, when you see
when Cole walks around, I just see a Star of David above his head. That's just.
Like that's what I see. Like
when Dave walks around, I just hear "Que bonita bandera, la bandera puertorriqueña." Fucking Lenny practically has mofongo spilling out of his mouth when he talks. Yeah,
when I think of Lenny, I think of just Bushwick.
Tony's Filipino.
She's Filipino and Chinese.
She walks around smelling like pancit and, and fucking kanin. You know, like belot.
Belot. That's funny.
Yeah, no, my girl is a Siberian fucking white husky. Do you know? Like she's a Siberian wolf over here. Everyone to me is purely color and race and denomination and whether you're gay or straight or I only label people by that.
Oh, awesome. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ,
I just throws my theory out the window. Like, let's nix that right now, right?
Yeah, whenever you're around, I'm like, there's that.
I'm the opposite. Yeah.
There's that light-skinned Argentinian that has some Nazi roots to him.
Oh my god!
No, that was funny though when
Jay?
when Jay just assumed you were from Argentina because you light skinned.
My god!
And then I was like, Jay, do you know what his real name is?
Oh my god! I don't even know. And it's funny. I knew we were gonna talk about it. I knew it was gonna come up, and I rehearsed this. I rehearsed this.
Let's hear.
I rehearsed it.
All right, what did you rehearse?
I don't know how my government name came up in anybody's like spectrum or anybody's like, I don't know who like ratted me out. I don't know how it came.
Isn't it on like your Facebook or something?
Yeah, but it's Martin Adolfo Baez. So like you would never know, right? That it's the other way around. It's Adolfo Martin.
Oh,
Baez.
that it's actually your first. Because to clarify, it'll say on when people download this episode, it's gonna say your name Martin. It's not gonna say what your actual first name is, because Martin's your middle name.
Yeah.
But you go by and you introduce yourself as Martin. Mm-hmm. Martin Baez, right?
Yep.
You always introduce yourself as that. You when you meet people, when people introduce you to them, it's hey, this is Martin, whatever. But truthfully, Your first name is actually
Adolfo. Yeah.
Adolfo.
Yeah.
I like that you're like, this is the first time
I'm
you
trying
used
to spice it up a little
You
bit.
haven't used an accent we're a minute 2 in, or an hour 2 in. You don't say anything with an accent, but I ask you your name. Adolfo.
Adolfo.
It's
De la montaña. No, I
so
think
it's Martin, but it's Martin.
Yeah.
So it's Adolfo.
You make it sound
Adolfo? or Adolf? Would you prefer Adolf?
All right, because the reason why I stemmed off that, right? Never bothered me
I
until
think we all know the reason
all
why.
right, well.
All right, but go on. You
Yeah.
said you prepared a statement. Do you have any? Do you have any notes you want to pull out?
No,
do you have
no.
a
Like,
speech you're ready to give?
Older me, like, got comfortable being comfortable in the sense. I'm like, all right, I could tell people my name and it won't affect me as much, but I'm more comfortable introducing myself as Martin, because somewhere along the way, someone's gonna associate that with the Nazis, with Adolf Hitler, butcher it. They've been butchering it for years. And I try my best not to even bring that into the light, because I know it's going to be a rabbit hole of like, oh, but where are you from? Like, was that always your name? I got the worst shit in school, the worst shit in like the friend space. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go by my middle name. At work, my ID is Adolfo Martin.
Huh.
So it's not just Adolfo.
Oh, shit. So you don't even have your last name on your badge?
It's on my badge, but like sometimes like when like the duty roster comes out or where I need to go supervise or be on the airport, like they know me Adolfo Martin.
Okay.
And not just Adolfo Baez.
What do your coworkers
Baez.
call you?
They call me Dolph. They call me Martin.
Wait a second, because when I fucking
Did
like,
you?
called you Dolph, you were like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. I'm
I
like,
do remember you calling me. I don't remember overreacting about it.
I even put it on a goddamn birthday cake for you.
Oh yeah,
It
you
said
did.
happy birthday,
You
Dolph.
Did. You did. You can call me Dolph if you want.
And I was like, bro, your name is actually Dolph, like Dolph Ziggler. Like that's
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
That's why
Yeah.
and so people actually call you Dolph.
Call me Dolph, Martin, Baez. Everybody goes by last names, but yeah.
Okay.
What I prefer is Martin.
Right.
But if you roast me a little bit, I'm okay with the roast now, because like I've known you longer.
You legitimately don't. So you don't like your first name?
It's not that I don't like it. I do think it's a strong name. I don't like how people like use it. Like I feel they take it in the
Like
car.
a slur, bro.
Yeah, like they just spin it so far, and they twist and turn it, and like yeah, like you say what a cool, fine, but like Adolfo, like I make like an exotic Pokemon or some shit, bro. Like you know, and I'm still scarred. I still talk to my mom about it to this day. 35 years to this day. 35 years old, still telling my mom about it. I'm like, why didn't you just name me Martin? Why?
Why are you named?
Because my
Adolfo?
father's name was Adolfo Martin.
Okay.
My grandfather was Adolfo Martin.
Okay.
I believe his father, so my great grandfather.
So are you a fourth?
Technically, I'm a fourth. Yeah.
See, that's where I would be really mad at my mom. Not even that she named you Adolfo Martin.
See what you doing?
That you didn't.
This is why I avoid it. See, this is why I avoid it.
But the fact that if you're gonna have Adolf have to be part of your name, give you the Roman numeral 4 in there too.
Make it cool, right?
Adolfo Martin.
It sounds like
Numero
I'm about to drop the
cuatro,
hottest album
the
ever.
fourth,
The
yeah.
fourth, right?
Yeah.
Like, nah, they wanted to take away all the cool parts.
Because they took away the legacy of your name.
Yeah.
At least if you have a racist ass name, you know, but it's fucking, but it's the fourth
Thanks,
in its
man.
line, you know, instead of the first. Like, because this just sounds like your mom really didn't like you. Like she got mad that she got pregnant, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck this kid's life up. I'm gonna name him.
What's the worst way to ruin someone's childhood? Let's give him this fucked up name.
Yeah, what you might not even realize is that your mom's first choice for your first name was Hitler, and they're like, that's too much. They're like, all right, Adolfo.
Yeah, let's dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah.
We can't like put the onslaught like this early.
Adolfo Martin.
But I got all those references, and it took a long time for me to grow into the person that I am now. Like, of course,
To the person that still lies about his first name.
It's a person that chooses to not disclose his first name. That's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
My man, it's different, right?
Not telling somebody.
Not disclosing. I'm not lying. Ask me. But I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to figure it out.
How did we figure it out?
Someone ratted me out.
Was it?
I think it was like a Zell or something that I got something for somebody, and then in the B Squad chat, I want to say it was Gucci by accident or Cole. Whatever, right? Oh yeah, his name on Zell is Adolfo. The fucking sirens went off.
Who the fuck is this liar?
And I think you said it or someone else said it. Like, who the fuck is that? And I had to go on this fucking 1 minute typing speech or whatever, this paragraph of like to explain that's my legal government name. And I'm like, let's please. I kept deleting the chat because I didn't want to reread that. Yeah. You ever deleted the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I wouldn't want to read
Not
it.
because I lied about my first name.
No, because I didn't disclose it.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Correction.
What?
Right?
You are a skilled skilled liar.
A skilled non-disclosure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, man. So that's how it came out to the light. And I'm like, all right, well, the cat's out the bag. I really hope that they don't call me that moving forward. Yeah, I got some jokes here and there. In the beginning of our first, like, hanging out with everybody, right? I was, like, not a little butthurt, but a little, like, sensitive. Because it does affect me.
About what?
Just the name.
Wait, the first time that we're hanging out and it
Yeah,
came
like,
out?
you know, like, the jokes, right? And then Jay, like, talking shit. And, like, you know Jay, though, right? Like, and I'm like, oh, God, please football or something. Like, something interesting, please happen. Like, literally. But now that I guess, like, the pressure's off. Because it kind of came out, so like
your lie was revealed.
Well, the thing was disclosed. What wasn't supposed to be disclosed was disclosed.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It's good that I guess you recognize that it like you were sensitive to it as a because if you are a member of this group of friends, there will come a point where you are just being ruthlessly
roasted.
Yeah.
As I was in one of the podcasts that
you deserved that one. You've never had
I showed my friends that
been as stabbed as it was.
I said, hey, I'm gonna send you a link, and this is about me, right? This is just the roast of me.
Yeah,
right?
Was it the audio or the visual?
Just the audio on Spotify.
Okay.
I usually send Spotify shit, and like I send them the link, and like, yo, your fucking link has a podcast. I'm like, yo, my link is amazing. And this episode dedicated to me, how quote unquote how I screwed over my commissioner.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, why'd you do that to your boy? I was like, bro, context. There's levels to.
There's no context.
There's
Anyone
context.
that hears that, bro, your own boy Dario was like, "Yo, you did him dirty." Like
he was like, "Yo, wow." But as I was explaining it, he was like, "Oh, playoff time? Yeah, that's a different story. Like that makes sense." But
I explained it to Val, who does not know nor care about this shit, and even her was like, that sounds pretty fucked up. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm like, nah, you're not. Hell yeah. The only reason why right now, like, I'm not livid about it is because
I lost?
No, because I would have lost to Alejandro in the championship game.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
if you would have lost, but I checked what my players scored and they would have beaten your score, like, I would not live it down. Like, I'm not saying that I would be fucking upset with you, but it would really be eating away at me as just wow, that's the closest I've ever come, and I don't know if I'll come that close again for like a long time.
A few things I want to say.
Great.
Well, I do want to say congrats to Alejandro. Shout out to him. Beat me fair and square. He had a good season.
Fair and square. Yeah, you didn't stab him. There's no way you could stab him in the back, right?
I know. There's no. If I could have, like,
you would have. Oh, we know, Dolph. We know, motherfucker. We are very well aware.
And like, I've always said
the
from
moment
the beginning,
you stabbed me in the back, I remember I DM'd Alejandro.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the moment you stabbed me in the back, I remember this wall is bare now
you ripped
because
up
of you.
Because of me.
I DM'd Alejandro and I was like, I don't know how this happened, but now I'm suddenly rooting for you out of everybody.
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
I still thought you'd root for me, but I
Nah,
understand
hell,
why.
well, are you fuck? How
You want him to get 3 rings? He got 3
more
rings.
than you touching a ring?
Wow,
Hell yeah!
wow.
After
Okay.
that, had you not done that, then yeah, cool. I would have loved it if you got your first ring, and I would be actually very upset that Alejandro got his third. But you did that. Nah, dude.
It's
Nah.
crazy because
and I don't mean just for this. I mean like forever. I better win one before you do. Like that's.
Oh, so you think like the pressure's on?
No, there's no pressure. I just had. No one's ever spited me
Oh my God.
in the game of fantasy football like
It
that.
wasn't even
ever.
like. And all right, before I get into it, right? I was worried about like how the aftermath would be because I didn't like.
For very unlike you, let's make this. I'm gonna do long story short.
Okay.
Because for you, long story is chapter 1.
Hell yeah.
I was born. Anyways, real quick, Martin. The way he stabbed me in the back was he went out of his way to slide into my opponent's DMs
On ESPN app, not on Instagram.
because that's so much better.
Yeah.
That's not as betraying, right?
Sounds better, I think.
He slides into his ESPN app DMs
Yeah.
to give him tips to say, hey, you have an injured player on your roster. You might want to bench him, and literally helps my opponent out on a week that he's not even playing in a game because he'd rather face my opponent than me the following week in the playoffs. You had a week 1 bye.
Yep.
We were battling it out, and you were so afraid of my team
100%.
that you slid into my opponent's DMs to give him advice and tips because that motherfucker wasn't paying enough attention to his own team.
That's exactly why I did it. Because I already told you from like the beginning of the season. I think I told you at draft day. I'm like, you have a really strong team. It's going to be a long season. We're going to go back and forth. And you had a great season. So when I saw Bryant had 2 injured players, Josh Jacobs and Nico Collins, I'm like, yo, my man. Number 1, you shouldn't be in the playoffs, respectfully, right?
Yeah.
And number 2, you're going to allow it? Bless you.
Thank you.
Like, your team is already stacked. You don't need a freebie.
Yeah.
And I was going to let it rock until the Thursday game that they played the Broncos or something, like the Raiders and the Broncos. And I'm like, yo, like my guilty conscience is like, yo, bro, tell him, fuck it. You trying to get to the championship or not? Because if he swaps out 1 player, that changes the whole narrative. But he has 2. I should have said both. I said 1 player. Mm-hmm. I said, yo, bro, I don't know if you're looking. I don't know if you're working a lot. But, like, Josh Jacobs not playing tonight. He's like, oh, man, thank you. I'll change it. Right? And then what did this fucking guy do? He airs me out on the football chat, which I didn't think he was going to do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, yo, if you want, you could tell Will. But I feel like that would make it, like, worse. So I didn't even say that.
Okay.
And he did it anyway. I'm like, bro, not only did you, like, all right, I already created an enemy, quote unquote. You made me look even worse.
It's also what made that moment when Brian literally threw you under the bus. By the way, the funniest thing, that ignorant, dumbass, obtuse-minded, dumbass piece of shit, he didn't even realize what he was doing to you. He thought he was just announcing nice news in the chat.
Like, give me a compliment.
Yes,
like this is good sportsmanship.
He was like, Martin has such good sportsmanship that he reached out to me and let me know I had an injured person on my roster. Good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship would be if you guys were playing each other.
Yeah.
And you told him, hey, dude, you have an injured person.
Which I would never do.
Of course not.
What the fuck? Never.
Because you're not an idiot.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole.
That's the difference.
And what compounds so that moment that Brian comes into the chat and he's like, la, 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 hey, we have a great member in our league because he has sportsmanship. He did this. I immediately was like, you stupid moron. He's insulting you to your face and you don't even realize
Literally.
it.
And like,
But what made that moment even, like, in the grand scheme of things, funnier and more poignant was that about 10 minutes earlier, in a separate chat, you're literally saying out loud typing out loud to me and other members of this other separate chat, Oh man, I low key feel like hitting on Bryant right now, but that would be mad fucked up if I did, right?
I forgot
And
I did that.
All of us were like, yeah, absolutely, including me. I was like, yo, if you like, I was like, yeah, that would be.
Also, I
and
gave
then
you a
what do
warning.
you do? What do you do? Fucking 2 minutes later, you're like, that's exactly what you did. You go behind her,
man.
and then
Okay, I forgot I did that.
and then you literally admit that you wouldn't have ever said shit to me unless you said if you won the ring. You would have told me? Is that
Yeah, if I would have won, I would have like, yo, bro, this is how I got here. I had a shortcut something. I had to like, you know.
Which to me makes it sound like you only wanted to reveal the news when it would hurt me the most.
I didn't think of it that way.
You're like, I will never tell Will about this until I am champion.
I feel like it would only make sense and be worth it if I won.
Worth
for
it
me.
for who?
For me.
And for me, like,
Well,
I would have then been like, that could have been me.
it's a casualty of war.
That's like winning the lottery, cashing the ticket, and then going up to your friend and being like, I stole your numbers.
Oh man,
Like this should have been yours,
it's a pretty good analogy.
but I wasn't ever gonna tell you that I stole your numbers unless I won.
Unless I won. No, I can see why you could compare the two.
I can see why. Fucking people that have never even cared about fantasy football see why.
Yo, and I've spoken to a lot of people about it, and it's split. It's 50-50. They're like, yo, you got to do what you got to do.
This is a lie.
I swear to God.
This is bullshit.
I wouldn't lie. At least I do it to your face, right? Like, I literally did it. Like,
But when you're telling the story, you're leaving out the fact that like I did it behind his back, and I said in the chat that I
totally forgot I did pregame you about it.
Selective memory.
Yeah, selective memory.
In your head, you were like, I went about it the most noble way possible.
So I thought, right, when I said that was like the pregame, like the prelude to like, all right, I'm gonna tell him. I wasn't like fully confirmed that I was gonna do it, but I'm like, all right, at least he kind of knows I might do it, because getting a freebie is fine, but getting 2 freebies is OD, especially with your stacked ass team. I was like, damn it, he about to have an easy way to the semifinals against me.
Should have been. And that, I mean, the thing that pisses me off too is that was also like the worst that my team had performed probably the entire second half of the season,
which was fucking bad timing.
Really bad time. But still, I only lost by that one person he replaced for that he subbed in for Josh Jacobs. The person that you had good sportsmanship about.
Would you have done that to me?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You would have not done that at all?
Like if it was
you don't have a ring yet, right?
So I'm yes. Thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
I'll be here all night.
So let's say I have the bye and it's you and Brian.
Yeah.
Would I have hit up Brian? Yeah, I don't think so.
I would expect you to. You got to do what you got to do to get there.
That's because you're a bad person, and I'm obviously a good person. That's the difference. Also, part of me would have the thinking of, well, Brian obviously doesn't. He's not earning it. He's not deserving it. Like he's not like. Part of me would feel like I am working pretty fucking hard to like scratch and claw my way into the playoffs, because like Brian somehow was winning every game,
the lowest scores
with the lowest score in the league, in one of the lowest scores in the league, and I, the way I got into the playoffs was it wasn't just I had a good draft and chilled, like rested on my laurels. Like I was making deals, I was making not even like little rinky-dink trades. I was making big moves where I was trading away Josh Allen. I was acquiring Kelsey. I traded away Saquon Barkley. I was getting back Jalen Hurts. I was doing big like seismic shift type moves that were like risks, and I took a big risk on Jahmyr Gibbs in the draft, and that paid off in tenfold.
Later on, it was rough in the beginning.
It was, and I knew that my team was heavy on rookies. I had Jahmyr Gibbs, I had Jordan Addison, I had Zay Flowers.
You're all pretty good this year.
And I knew that those are all players that were not going to pay off till the second half of the year.
Yeah.
So I had to ride the first half.
Yeah.
It took a little bit longer for Jahmyr Gibbs, but when he hit, I became one of the hottest teams in the league.
For sure. You had a great year. When you traded for, what's his face? Jalen Hurts, Keenan Allen, and
no, that was it. It was those two.
I'm like, oh.
That's when I became.
That's when I hit the panic button.
Right.
I was like, I gotta do something.
That's when you were like, I am going to stab him.
That was when
that
first initial like evil intention like occurred in my mind.
I get it too.
And I'm like, damn, I'd be afraid to play a team like that. And I was afraid to because my quarterback situation was atrocious.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins going down for me really hurt. I never recovered. Never recovered. I was streaming quarterbacks.
You know, it's a good question to ask me though. I don't think I would have done it to you.
Okay.
But I might have done it to Cole, or to like an Alejandro.
I feel you definitely 100%. I can see why. I mean, maybe you wouldn't do it to me. I'm not.
Cole is so privileged that had I done it to him, whoever Brian replaced would have had negative points, and it would have helped Cole.
He would have got it somewhere else.
Yeah, it would have just been.
The universe would have looked out another way. Same to Alejandro. Like some shit would have happened. Like someone on Brian's team would have broken a leg or some shit. Like some random ass shit. But
I don't think I would have done it to you because at that point you didn't deserve it.
What I didn't want, and I guess I let my thirst for the win, thirst for the overall playing of the game, overall playing the game.
Yeah.
I not disregarded your feelings, but I didn't think that it was gonna affect you that much. And maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. When it happened, and you gave me kind of like upset vibes, and I was like walking like super.
So
carefully.
The Monday night game that I watched, because it all came down to a Monday night game, and Tyler Lockett basically for me. That was probably definitely in terms of fantasy. That's the most upset I've ever been. But I was upset at the turnout of the game, the gameplay. It was never really
against me.
Fuck Martin. There was part of it was like, wow, I can't believe it really came down to that.
Yeah.
But part of my coping process immediately was, what am I going to say in the next episode?
Yeah.
But it was almost like a, how do I word it? I was very mad at it for fantasy football reasons, but I wasn't mad for like friendship reasons.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
It does, and it makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, like because then I went out of my way because I think I recorded the episode. If it wasn't the next day, it was like 2 days later. But I remember I might have been the very next day because I felt like I had to record with these emotions still raw. But I also then went out of my way to DM you, to slide into your DMs the way you slid into Brian's, except I didn't use the ESPN.
No.
But I slid into your DMs to be like, look, I am absolutely eviscerating you for an entire episode. It's not a segment.
No, it was in like an hour 10 or whatever it was.
Like I went on Tony for like 5 minutes. I went in on Brian for like 5 minutes.
I thought Dave's was bad.
Dun, dun.
Oh my god!
The overall playing of the game looks like a.
That was great though.
It looks like a fucking best man speech now compared to
the verbal assault that I got.
Yeah, the wounds of betrayal.
All right,
but also by the way,
yeah,
those are probably the 2 best episodes of the season.
Well,
was Dave's roasting and then
at my expense. Yeah,
your evisceration.
I'll live with that.
No, I got so much. That's the most positive feedback I got for the episode was your sacrifice.
my
sacrifice. Bro, Tony texted me a picture of like my like YouTube video, my YouTube show, whatever, the full podcast bit on YouTube on a TV.
Yeah.
And he goes, me and Dave are dying right now watching this episode. You know?
It was great. It was, and I'm really, really, so I want to say thank you for like pre-gaming me and warning me, because like we're very close, but also me, I'm a natural born overthinker, and I think everybody feels the way I do. Like maybe he is taking it a little bit harder because everybody has their own ways of dealing with shit, right? So when it happened and I woke up and I saw that you lost, I'm like, yo, fuck, man. Bitch ass Tyler Lockett, man. And he had 2 catches in the first quarter.
And yeah, trust me. I've also.
I'm like, you couldn't get 2 more?
Also, it's probably the first time in years that I've watched every single snap of a game. Because I have, first of all, I work so often on Sundays now.
Yeah.
But when I am home, I have NFL Red Zone.
Yeah, that's
so,
the best.
So, oh, it is the best.
I love that.
I put Dave onto it. He visited me, like, I think it was week 1 last year. And I put on Red Zone. And at one point, he was like, bro, can we just watch the Jet game? Like, he's old school like that. He's like, can we just watch the Jet game? And this was after, like, 10, 15 minutes of the Red Zone, right? We put on the Jet game, fucking 5 minutes, and he's like, nah, bro, you was right. Put the Red Zone on. Fucking.
You want to see every scoring drive in the league?
I'm like, we're watching one of the worst teams in the league go 3 and out, 3 and out. He's like, you right. Red Zone.
It's the best.
And we put it on, and then flash forward to this season. He hits me up. He's like, yo, can I get your password for Hulu? And he probably watched Red Zone this year more than I did because I worked like half the season or whatever.
When I discovered it, I'm like, wow, like the keys to the kingdom have been unlocked.
It was great. Yeah,
I'm very impatient. I was the type because I've always had like a jailbroken Fire Stick, but like the links were never great.
Also, jailbroken Fire Sticks they like age out and shit, don't they? Like
I have something now that I'll show you, and it's pretty good. The only thing is just like you have to keep signing in. Because I have like an account, and like if you don't use it for like a day, I don't watch TV every day. But when I'm home, like after work,
you have to sign in.
I'm
so annoyed at
it like
signing
resets the shit.
That's annoying.
So you can't just turn it on and like the channels will be there. You gotta sign in with the freaking controller, and it takes like fucking 5 minutes because there's like a long thing, the server address and the username and the password. That's the only knock on it. But like that's how I see the games, and naturally I just flip through the channels. But Red Zone solves like me being impatient, like,
oh yeah, especially 100%. For fantasy heads like us, because then now suddenly like every score we know about, we're talking about, we're like, oh,
you see it,
and we're putting it in the chat like 60-yard bomb for Higgins or some shit like that, you know. Like,
when it happened, right? And I woke up like because Tony wakes up like 5ish. He works at 6 something, and like waited till 6 a.m. because this is me feeling bad from 2:50 as soon as I wake up in the morning to 6 o'clock when Tony wakes up. Okay. First person I head up, I'm like, damn, because she knows what I did. I was telling her, she was like, yo, you still care about your fake ass team? Like, you know how girls like, they don't give a fuck.
Oh my God, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I care, and I'm telling you because I care about you. She was like, yeah, whatever, just finish what you gotta say, like that type of energy.
So you got like zero support from her.
She doesn't give a fuck.
Wow, that's because even Val was like, when I told her what you did, she was like, whoa, like I don't give a fuck about any of this, but that sounds fucked up. And I was like, she's like, what is the rest of the league saying? Like they're all saying that it's fucked up.
They all agree.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, besides like Dustin, Katie, and no, I'm like, even Brian knows about this one. I'm like, it's like 9 versus 1 right now.
It was hard looking at the chat, but yeah. So I waited for her to wake up, and she woke up, and I told her, and she was like, damn. That's it. Literally, damn. Like the support, I was like, I needed somebody for 4 hours, and this is what you give me. Then, like, I was going to hit you up, but then you hit me up, which was great because I'm like, oh,
I did notice you went radio silent in the chat. Like,
I felt bad. I hit him Cole.
You did?
I did. I was like, yo, I feel bad. He was like, well, you wanted it.
You wanted it. This is what you asked for.
Yeah, it's the like mission, like not mission accomplished, but like
you literally got what you wanted.
Something along those lines. But like, like what's that scene when Thanos sacrifices Gamora?
What did it cost?
What did it cost? Yeah. Like that. That's exactly how I felt. Mm-hmm. I was like, fuck, I know my boy's mad at me, damn it. But like I would want you, honestly, you might not do it, but I would want you to do that to me. Because fantasy is like chess, right? It's fucking chess. It's fantasy, literally, by the luck of the universe, these players got to do what they're projected to do. And it's chess. Making the right moves. Making sure this guy doesn't make the right move, especially in a matchup. So I'm like, this team is stacked. I got to figure out a way to block him. And that was like the way, because Brian doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. I'm managing his team, basically. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, that playoff spot should have been for Katie.
So to you, like, you justified in your head by saying, hey, this is chess. This is just. To me, I was Nancy Kerrigan walking out to the rink, and you had just suddenly came with a lead pipe and blasted my kneecap in the backstage area out of nowhere. And I'm left on the floor crying, why? Why? Looking up and just thinking, A2, Martin? Adolfo?
Yeah, right.
A2?
And in the podcast episode where you roasted me, I'm like, he's gonna call me by my government, the whole name. Thank God you didn't.
Oh, did I? I think I was too mad to even use that as. I was so mad.
Oh, you forgot. Yeah, like, thank God. Yeah. I was like literally clenching my phone.
I should have been goose stepping all over the place.
Like listening to it, I'm like, oh, he's gonna roast me. But pregame, like you showed, like told me that. I was like, yo, I love you. And like,
For the listeners of this podcast, I reached out to Martin to let him know that he was just absolutely
gonna get
at my
destroyed.
mercy for this episode that's dropping right now.
Like you're about to get suplex after suplex.
Yeah, I published it, but it takes about like from the moment I like press the last click on my laptop to it being available for people on Spotify and Apple, it takes about, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes for Spotify, a good half hour to 40 minutes for Apple. It was within those minutes that I DM'd you, and I was like,
it's too late now.
it's just so you know. But I also said, like, I by the way, I think it was right before my birthday, right before my birthday that he did this, and I was like, you're definitely, like, I still want you to come for my birthday. Like, you're definitely still invited.
I wasn't sure if I was.
I'm
like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna say?
And because I know you've mentioned before yourself on this episode that you believe you can be sensitive about things.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
And because I know that, I felt like, let me coddle this piece of shit with this DM. And I was like,
thank you for doing that.
And I was like, you listen, you're gonna get, like, it's like, I think I even was like, it's bad. Like, it's
like put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
It's like get ready for the carnage.
But then I also was like, but just know, like, I love you. I definitely want you at my birthday. But yeah, this episode is.
So imagine me being sent, which I admit, like, openly, as people get to know me and I open up more. Like, some things do affect me differently, and like, and I realize that that's just me. That's just my DNA. That's how I always felt. That helped a lot. Because imagine I listened to the episode without any warning or any like, hey.
How do you think you would have reacted?
Way different.
Like mad, like sad, like pissed, or...
damn, like sad and like embarrassed, or like it's a weird thing, like definitely like ashamed and like damn, like
shame for what? For stabbing your friend in the back?
No, for the outcome of it, like that, like.
But the thing is, that's what's funny is like I feel like you wish that you could have told Brian to bench that player and then have me lose, but not be that benching be the one reason I lost. Like, you would have rather I lost by like 20 than lose by the amount that you influenced.
Then my action wouldn't have been so bad.
Like, literally, we can say, had you not DM'd him, I would have defeated Brian.
You would have, yeah. You would
have. And by the way, I then would have defeated you the following week.
Which is...
I just would have lost to Alejandro in the playoffs. So you would have lost to me. You would not have made it to the championship game.
No, for sure.
But I still wouldn't have won the ring, which is the one thing that's like saving you and saving us.
Yeah.
No,
saving our friendship.
Yeah. The only reason this podcast is happening right now. No, but truly, it wouldn't be that extreme. But the one thing that, the reason this doesn't, the outcome of the season just doesn't bother me anymore, it doesn't linger, is because I still wouldn't have had the ring.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, all the way back then in the overall playing of the game, I thought it was all about rings, baby. Not the overall playing of the game.
Yeah.
You know? If anything, I wonder if Dave thinks that backstabbing, conniving actions are amazing overall playing of the game. We might have to ask him for that.
I do want to ask him now.
Yeah.
Was that
overall good playing of the game, or overall?
For me, yes, but in the grand scheme of like everybody else, I would say it's not.
Would you do it again?
Oh man, I feel like I already ripped that Band-Aid off. No, like, dude, when I lost, right? I was sad I lost
to the championship game.
I wanted to win. I want everything to be worth it. Now I'm not as upset, obviously, because time has passed, and I'm like, Alejandro was a better team. He had a way better score. My quarterback situation was atrocious.
The quarterback thing's what killed you.
That killed me.
Yeah.
But what I took away this season was I felt validated. I feel like now I like belong in the league. Second year in, I had a good year, most points in the league. I didn't win it, which is cool, because like I said, my team wasn't better that week. But I felt like, because since last year I got my ass kicked, it was like an intro to like how you guys play. You guys show your cards with how you play, and I had to take my licks. I'm like, I didn't want you to think that I'm like, oh, I'm just this casual fantasy player. No, I'm a nerd when it comes to shit like this, and I love doing it. I love being in the league. So this season, kind of like, all right, I can hang with these guys.
Right.
I could do it.
I also don't think that I think that most of that was in your head.
Hmm.
I don't think that there's a single member of the league that
Thought it was a noob or something.
yeah, that was like, this guy doesn't belong. This guy can't hang. You know, like we already accommodate to like 2 or 3 members of the league that have like responsible adult ass lives. You know, like they're married, wife, kids, or just a job where they just they are traveling and busy or whatever. Excuse me as I'm burping up a storm. You weren't that. I think what would have been worse, not worse because that gives the connotation that you were negative in a way. I think what the league would have pushed back against were if our newest member was an inactive member.
That's annoying.
If you're in the league but you're never in the chat, you're never making moves, you were the opposite of that. You not only were you in the chat, you were like, we saw you as often as I saw you more than I saw Alejandro.
Yeah.
Then I saw you, you're in our group of friends. You're the worst addition to our group of friends we've had in a long time, but you're
goddamn.
Since Jay, has there not been a worse addition?
Man, you gonna put me in the J category? Wow. Goddamn.
Really? It was like when Jay was added to the group, we were like, fuck, really? Him? I'm like, yeah, I guess,
I guess.
It's more for his wife. But then now she's taking care of all the babies and we're stuck with Jay. I mean, fuck. At least Jay's never stabbed me in the back, though.
Not yet. Right.
Jay would, though. Jay would if he... I wonder, dude, would Jay slide into someone's DMs?
If Jay was winning and he had the chance to go to the finals or whatever it was, I mean, why wouldn't somebody do that?
Honor, heart,
like
love.
Love. Touche.
That was part 1 of my conversation with my buddy Martin. That seemed like a good spot to put a pin in it for now. Come back next week, part 2, where we get more into his actual life as a employee in the airline agency or airline business in general, how that, the highs and lows of that, how that affects him. Maybe we finally get an answer as to why our luggage goes missing all the time. Pretty sure he's the man responsible for that. So we will be sure to direct all hate towards him. That and more coming up in part 2. But for now, that was me and Martin. I enjoyed that. It was easy. I literally had no notes prepared for him. He's just a buddy, and me and him could shoot the shit like that any day of the week. Hope you enjoyed that. Before I let you guys know, you know what time it is. It's time that I ask you to do me that favor where you follow me. I'm the same name on all platforms. I'm Will Bryant. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Twitch, Spotify, Threads, all that. YouTube. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Bryant. Like Kobe. His statue just came out the other day too, man. Rest in peace to the legend. And thank you guys. Peace.